Welcome to the Gyrl podcast. I'm Kyra Mitchell Lewis. Thank you all for joining. Happy Thursday, Friday, Junior. Hope you all are having, I hope everyone's having a good week. All right, so all of my entrepreneurs out there, I've got a good episode and a great guest coming up for you. Anybody out there listening who's a business owner, I'm sure you have a website to support your business, but maybe you might be in a place where you're trying to figure out how to drive more traffic to your website, and you're trying to figure out how to get more people there, how to get more people to find you in search, how to get more people to, come there so they can convert. And then guess what? I'm sure you've heard plenty of times, these three letters, SEO. SEO, SEO, SEO. We can't get away from SEO. We can't get away from keywords and all those sorts of things. Well, today, if you are somebody out there and you might be thinking, I don't know what keywords I'm supposed to be using. I don't even know what SEO is or how to do it or whatever. I've got a great guest coming up for you. Brandon Leibowitz is the owner of SEO Optimizers. He's run and operated this agency since 2007. SEO Optimizers is a digital marketing agency that focuses on helping small and medium-sized businesses get more online traffic, which converts into clients, sales, leads, and more. So Brandon's going to join me in a little bit to help us really figure out how we can get more visible online and with an effective SEO strategy. So you probably want to grab something to write down some notes with, because I think it's going to be a super helpful discussion for you all. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Gyrl podcast. I'm Kyra. Thank you all for joining. All right, let's welcome Brandon into the podcast. Welcome, Brandon.
Thanks for having me on today.
Awesome. All right, so before Brandon gets us all versed and tells us all the things we need to know about all things SEO, let's start by having you tell the audience listening or watching out there a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I've been helping people get more traffic to their websites since 2007. Got my degree in business marketing, and after I graduated from school, got my first job helping a company out doing their digital marketing, which I didn't really know much about it. They said, don't worry, we don't know much either. We're going to take you to classes and workshops and seminars and learn with you, which I thought was interesting. So I decided to check it out. And after working there for a few months, just realized this is probably the future. Everyone's going to have a website, and there's a lot of different ways to get traffic, such as social media, email marketing, doing paid ads, doing search engine optimization, and just kind of focus more on the SEO side of things, because SEO is free traffic. And I thought, who doesn't want free traffic? And that led me down the path of just working at different advertising agencies as a director of SEO, and before work or after work and on my lunch breaks. I work on my own company and eventually built that up to where I was able to quit my job and focus solely on this, and been doing that ever since, just helping people tap into that free traffic from Google.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, we love a story where someone has been able to transition, especially into their own personal business. So kudos to you. Why don't we start by, let's just talk about what SEO is and why it actually matters for anyone that has a company, a website, and how, how it helps them with conversions.
So SEO is search engine optimization, which means ranking websites on the search engines. When you search on Google, there's ads at the top. Those are all paid ads, but right below the ads are the organic, the free listings. And SEO is all about getting you into those free listings where there's 10 spots on that first page of Google. And we want to get you up there so you're getting into that free traffic. So if when someone searches for keywords related to your product or service or whatever that you're targeting, that you show up and you capture that traffic and get them to go to your website, and hopefully get them then to convert into a sale, a lead, a phone call, or whatever that conversion goal is for your website.
Yes. Thank you. Because I know most people probably, go to Google, search for something, and yes, you see those sponsor ads like immediately. But I think like even though like I work in marketing in my everyday life, so like of course, like yes, you already know those ones are paid. I think for me as a marketer, I'm often looking more at the organic ones because I'm like, those are the people, they're doing the work. They're doing the hard work to get you to find their websites.
I agree. Most people don't really click on the ads, but some people don't realize that the
Yeah.
ads are there and they click on them. But most people are kind of aware of them and skip right
Yeah.
down them. But there's still those people that click on it, and Google makes a ton of money. So Google's like,
Right.
let's keep doing it. Let's keep pushing these ads. And we're happy that people accidentally click on it too, and they don't really
Yeah.
realize the difference.
For sure. Well, let's talk about some of the go-to SEO strategies that you recommend for companies.
Yeah, it's not really a one size fits all with SEO, but there's some basic things that kind of overlap, which would be like content. Google feeds off content. The more content you have on the website, meaning text. Google struggles with images and videos and audio. They're getting better at it, but they really rely heavily on text. So the more text you add to your website, the easier it will be for the search engines to read and understand what that page is about. So if you could add text to not just your homepage, but every single page on your website, that
Mhm.
will definitely help out without you having to get technical with coding or anything like that. It's just add more content. The more you add, as long as it offers value, then Google's going to reward you with more rankings. Don't just throw content up to throw it up there, but just make sure it offers value to the reader and it makes sense and it's logical. And then that's going to help out a lot. That's one quick, easy tip
Mhm.
that doesn't require any technical knowledge. And that's one of the most important things to Google is ever since I've been doing SEO, content is king. And content really just means adding text.
Awesome. So let me ask you a question. How do you feel about blogs?
Blogs are great because blogs are another way to add more pages to your website.
Yeah.
Because after you've built out your website and you have all these pages, each page is targeting a different set of keywords. But if you want to start ranking for new keywords, it's kind of tough to just add new keywords to a page. It kind of loses that
Mhm.
relevancy. So the more pages you have, the more keywords you can target. And blogs are just an easy way to add more content to your website and add new pages that target new sets of keywords. And blogs are usually going to drive traffic to your website where you might solve a problem. Someone's searching for, they have a
Mhm.
question and that blog post answers it. Like it might be a comparison of what's the best restaurant to eat at in Los Angeles. And you might have write a blog about that if you're a restaurant. And
Mhm.
then you could like draw people into that blog post. You could talk about your restaurant, talk
Mhm.
about some other restaurants, but initially you're drawing them into that page. They're going to read about it and then hopefully want to learn more about the different restaurants, hopefully primarily yours. But it's just another way to try to tap into more traffic and open up your
Mhm.
website to new search keywords.
All right. So you mentioned the infamous keywords. And we talk a lot about this in my everyday life about having the right keywords on the website. So let's talk about, how people can make sure they are using the right keywords for their sites.
I would use it's a tool, free tool from the Google. It's called the Google Keyword Planner, and it will show you how many people actually search for a keyword every single month. So instead of just guessing, saying I want to rank for this keyword, now you could use data to see how many people actually search for this keyword every single month. So you might figure out that if you use a singular or a plural or a synonym of your keyword, you might get 2 times, 3 times as many people searching for that keyword every single month. So it really
Mhm.
is important not to just guess at these keywords, but actually look at the data and use free tools. There's paid tools out there if you want to buy a tool, but they're primarily getting their data from the Google Keyword Planner and they're just making it look nicer and easier to read. But Google Keyword Planner is going to show you that data where I teach SEO classes and I thought SEO classes would be a good keyword, but then I used the Google Keyword Planner and they showed me that SEO training got almost double the amount of searches that SEO classes got,
Mhm.
which by myself, I wouldn't have known that. But now that I know that, I'm like, let me switch over from SEO classes to SEO training because it's almost the same search intent, but it's going to give me the double the amount of searches. So you
Mhm.
want to find which keywords have high search volume, but also low competition. You don't want to just target keywords that are like one word or 2 words. Those are really broad keywords that don't really have much intent. The longer the keyword, it's called long tail keywords, the less people that are using that keyword, but there's more buyer intent behind it. So if you're searching let's say you sell tennis shoes and you want to
Mhm.
rank for the word shoes, that's really broad and not much intent
Right.
behind it. Like a lot of those people that are going to go to your website, if you rank for shoes, are going to hit that back button saying, oh no, I wasn't looking for tennis shoes. I was looking for dress shoes or sandals or whatever it may be. So tennis shoes would be a little bit more targeted if you rank for that keyword. Still get a lot of people are going to hit that back button because tennis shoes, it could be so many different variations. But if someone searches for like men's tennis shoes, size 10, color white, there's a lot of intent behind it. They know what color, what size, what style. They're ready to make that purchase. So the longer the
Mhm.
keyword, the less people that use it, but the more buyer intent behind it.
I like it. I like that. That's a really good, it's a really good tip because I was thinking when you were saying that, like when I was searching for like dunks. And so like of course you're gonna type if you put in Nike, right? Of course you're gonna find Nike low dunks. But I was like, I put in like red and white low dunks. And then it brought up like all these other places, right, that like offered it. So I didn't have to buy them like right from the Nike store, but there were other options. So look at the power of keywords.
It's all about what you search. It's all about knowing what you're looking for. And if you have that intent, like at the beginning, if you're just like typing in dunks, you might not know what color or what style that you want. So you're just kind of browsing
Yeah.
around. And then once you
Yeah.
figure it out, oh, I want the red and white ones and the lows. And you're like, okay, now I'm lower at the funnel. It's like starting at the top of the funnel and then working
Mm-hmm.
down to the bottom of the funnel where ultimately you're going to make that purchase. And that's where you know exactly what you want. And then all these other websites appear offering hopefully different prices and some might be
Yes.
lower and hopefully they're all real and no fakes, but then you could get it for a little bit cheaper and save some money.
Exactly. Now I'm wondering how many of you out there listening or watching have started Google Dunks as we talked about. But I do like that. I think that's an excellent tip as far as like the long tail, because yes, you're being more specific when someone's ready to purchase something, they are being more specific in what they're looking for. Like when they're just starting out and you're trying to be in that like awareness or just being in the consideration set, it's just more of like you said, it might just be, oh, dumps. And then you just got a whole like array of like dunks, which that could be overwhelming too, seeing all those different sites. But when you are getting closer to like you've done the research and you know what you want, then that's when you should be ready to show up because now you're ready to get that business. Look at you, Brandon. You just over here dropping nuggets on a to us for free. I love it. All right, so let's talk about some techniques to help with like competitive analysis because as you mentioned, when you were just talking about like even for yourself, if you were offering SEO training, there are probably other people out there offering SEO training as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there offering that's it, or just in general now.
Uh-huh.
Most keywords have a lot of competition, whereas 10, 15 years ago, not as many people had websites, but now I feel like it's a little easy, too easy to create a website. The barrier of entry has really dropped down. So a lot of
Yeah.
competition. And that's where you got to figure out who your competitors are because with
Mm-hmm.
SEO, we're not trying to be Google. It would be amazing if we could, but every day Google changes their algorithm. So if you figure out how Google works today, tomorrow they change, the next day they change. And really what matters is when you search for your keywords, who's ranking on that first page of Google. These are your competitors, and you want to figure out how much SEO have they done. So you always want to check out, well, mainly their backlinks. So backlinks are clickable links from other websites that point to yours. So let's say you're reading an article on entrepreneur.com and there it says Brandon Leibowitz. You click on it and it goes to my website. I'd be getting a backlink from entrepreneur.com. So what I like to do is I like to search on Google, look at who's on that first page of Google, and using different tools, I could throw these websites into these tools and look at all their backlinks. Then one by one, start reaching out to the sites that seem relevant and authoritative because backlinks really are what ranks websites. And if you could build similar backlinks that your competitors have, that's going to get Google to trust you in a similar way. The tools that I would recommend, there's a couple of them. They're all paid. There's no free tools for the backlinks, but the more popular ones would be like Ahrefs or Moz are pretty popular ones.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the most important things is looking at your competitors, figuring out who your competitors are, and then looking at their backlinks and trying to replicate the backlinks that they have.
Hmm. So I'm probably going to say, there's some people when you got to the back, like you had people when you were talking about the Google Keyword Planner. But when you got to the backlinks, people are probably, okay, wait. What if I can't do this for myself? Like, what do you recommend, especially if someone's like a new business and they're thinking, because this is all important, because this is how you're going to get leads. This is how people are going to find out about your site. This can lead to you getting that conversion. So building strong SEO and for your website is like so important as a new business. So what would you say first is like the first thing that you may recommend to a new business somebody might be listening say, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, backlinks. Without backlinks, it's almost impossible to rank on Google. So you need to build backlinks. That's one of the most important things. And there's also different ways. You could join like the Chamber of Commerce in your area. You could join like the BBB. And those type of websites will give you backlinks. If you're a local business, jump on like Google Maps, Apple Maps, Bing Maps, Yellow Pages, MapQuest, all these local directories will give you backlinks, but you really need to be on sites that are related to what you're doing. So if you're selling shoes, you want to be on sites that are related to shoes. If you're a mechanic for cars, then you want to be on sites related to mechanic or automobiles. If you're a plumber, you want to be on sites about home improvement. It doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing, just somewhat related. The more related, the better, but it doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing. But relevancy is a big aspect of those backlinks.
Right. Yeah.
The tools will really help you out. Those Ahrefs or Moz will really help you out to really uncover your competitors' backlinks and figure out, okay, they were on a podcast. Let me see if I can join this podcast. Or they did an interview on this website. Let me reach out to this website to see if I could potentially be on as a guest. But yeah, kind of reverse engineer their strategies, and those tools will help save a lot of time and headaches.
So what do you recommend to smaller businesses who might not have a large amount of money? So is that where you would start, is with more of like doing some of that research on the backlinks? Because I think that's really important, because also too, a lot of people who maybe come onto my show, maybe listen to the show, like have businesses, a lot of people are service-based as well. So just say like if there were someone who's like a coaching, like say a therapist. So would you say like finding sites and being on like directories where you list therapists, where they can have those backlinks that drive to their site as well?
Yep. And you can even reach out to other therapists in other countries or other states, since you're not direct competitors. So sometimes for local businesses, you could do that, where if you're like a local doctor, a restaurant, lawyer, plumber, something like that, you can reach out to other service-based businesses in other states and see if they would potentially let you write a blog post for them, or you gotta get kind of creative and figure out what you could do to get them to give you that backlink. But it doesn't really work for like myself. I'm an SEO company. I just can't really reach out to another SEO company because we're all competitors. Yeah. But if you're working in a specific area and then you're able to reach out to someone in another state where you're not direct competitors, then you could probably help each other out. And that's an easier way. Like if you're like a real estate agent in Los Angeles, you could reach out to other real estate agents in New York or Austin or whatever city you want to target, and potentially try to work a partnership out with them to see if you could help them out and they could help you out.
I like that. Well, Brandon, it's a good thing you know all the tips and the secrets. So you know what to do. Okay, so why don't you tell people listening out there, someone's out there and they're saying, you know what, actually, I want to talk to Brandon. I want to see maybe if there's something his company can do for me. What are some of the services outside of SEO that you might be able to help some of the listeners with? And then let everybody know how they can connect to you.
So anyone that wants to learn more, I actually create a special gift for them. If they go to my website at seooptimizers.com/gift, that's SEOOPTIMIZERS.com/gift. And they can find that there along with my contact information and a bunch of classes I've done over the years. I've thrown up there for free so they can see step-by-step how to do a lot of stuff that we talked about. And also if they want to book some time on my calendar, I'm happy to check out their website from an SEO point of view and see what's working, what's not working, and how to get them to that level that they want to be at. So everything can be found on that gift page. And I also help out a little bit with Google Ads, a little bit with social media, but try to get you that free traffic with the SEO.
Yeah, Oh, awesome. I love that. Thank you. We love a good gift over here. So I think that's really awesome. Anybody listening, watching, you should take advantage of that. And then we'll also drop those show notes, drop that information into the show notes as well. It's like what do you call it? I don't know, tongue twister. All right. Okay. So, Brandon, we are going to transition now into three things with Brandon. I'm going to ask you three questions. It's going to help everybody out there listening or watching get to know you just a little bit better. Number one is a two-parter. It's how do you start and how do you end your days?
I started usually working, so wake up and just usually just go straight to work for a couple hours, and then I'll take a break in between that, and then do some more work later. And then usually at the end of the day, I probably do a little bit of work at the end of the day. But the nice part about being freelance is I could pick and choose. So I have a big gap in the afternoon where I'll take time off to just kind of disconnect for a little bit. But usually right when I wake up, I just go straight to the office, start working for a little bit, then I'll make some food later and take a little time for myself. But maybe I should switch that. Usually people say take some time for yourself at the beginning of the day before you jump in, but I just go straight to it.
Well, I was thinking that until you said I take some time for myself, like during the day. So, I think as long as you are getting that time for yourself throughout the day, we can support that. But we do hope in the future, maybe you do switch it up just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe next time I'll tell you a whole different strategy.
Exactly. All right. Number two is if you are a goal or an intention setter, what's one goal that you set for yourself this year? And if you don't mind sharing, where do you stand with it now?
One goal would probably be to offer more courses online, which I am working on that. Not quite there yet, but done a lot of classes in person. So just working to put them in our online version so people could access it anytime, which I've done a little bit, but not quite there yet. So still working on it.
Awesome. All right. And the last question is, what is a book, a podcast, or a show, movie, or anything that's inspiring you at the moment?
I would have to say a good book would be maybe The Power of Now. It helps you kind of stay in the moment, stay present, and not worry about the future or not worry about the past, but just try to live in that present moment, which is tough at times, but I feel like that book has been really good and helpful.
Awesome. All right. We like it. We like it. Okay. So I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for coming and sharing this information. I was really excited also to get this information. I think it's always interesting, like when you work in an area every day, and it's for someone else's, business. But then when you're focusing on your own business, it's a lot of times a little bit harder to think about applying those things. So I know I'm personally going to be taking all these tips you gave and applying them to Glow Up Girl.
Nice. Awesome. I like to hear that.
Well, before I let you go, I'd love it if you could tell the audience three things that you'd like for them to take away from this conversation today.
The most important would just be adding more text to their website. Yes. That one's easy enough without having to code anything, and then go for long tail keywords that are 2 or more words. Don't just target the really broad generic keywords, but go for those long tail buyer intent based keywords and build backlinks. Get backlinks. Got to get those backlinks. Otherwise, unfortunately, none of the stuff that I mentioned earlier is going to matter. Without those backlinks, Google's not going to rank a website, unfortunately.
Yes. Oh, all fabulous tips that I think everyone can use. So, Brandon, I want to just say thank you so much for joining me today. You can always come back if you want to share more in the future. You're going to have those courses up, so we're going to have to make sure that we stay close to you and that we're paying attention so that we know when you put something up that, that we can learn from in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Awesome. Well, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Glow Up Girl podcast. I'm Kyra. Thanks again to Brandon for joining the show today. If you want to learn more about him, check out the links in our show notes. Also, make sure you take advantage of that free gift for our community. Also, if you'd like to learn more about Glow Up Girl, visit us at glowupgirl.com. You can check out past podcast episodes, grab our social links, and so much more. Also, be sure you're checking out the Career Focus podcast episodes as well. It's where I share my own experiences from my career journey. It's where I answer your questions that come in about questions you have about transitioning in your career, elevating in your career, any type of career question. Also, make sure you join us over at Patreon and unlock your potential with a Glow Getter membership. It's only $5. And when you join the Glow Up Girl community, you'll gain exclusive access to career tips, resources, and more, all designed to help you create a life and a career you love. So whether you're starting out or looking to level up, our membership empowers you to reach new heights. All right, if you are listening on a platform where you can leave a review or rate the show, please do so. I love reading the reviews that come in. They're just amazing. We have such a great community here. So if you have a few spare moments and if you're a fan of the show, please leave us a review. Also, make sure you share the podcast with your friends, families, coworkers. So don't keep all this goodness to yourself. And if you're sharing on social media, make sure you tag us in your post as well. All right, that's it for today. Great show, great information, great tips from Brandon. So make sure you join us again next week. And until then, stay focused, fab, and glow up. Take care, everyone.